Quiet power behaviors are not intimidation. They're not manipulation. They're not alpha performance. Quiet power is the skill of removing the signals that invite disrespect so you stop getting tested in the first place. Most people don't lose power because they're weak. They lose it because they unknowingly teach other people a dangerous lesson. You can push me, and I'll still stay polite. And once someone learns that lesson, they start taking more your time, your emotional energy, your attention, your flexibility, until you feel like you exist to keep the peace. In this video, I'm going to give you a complete quiet power system applying work, relationships, friendships, and family without becoming cold, cruel, or dramatic. You'll learn why being nice often becomes a permission slip for disrespect. The hidden behavior signals that make people treat you as flexible. The quiet behaviors that are. You write the dynamic without confrontation. The short scripts that protect you without long explanations. And the two mistakes that will ruin your boundaries even if your words are perfect. By the end, you'll have a simple rule. Access is earned by consistency, and you'll know exactly how to enforce that rule quietly. Let's start with a situation that feels painfully normal. You're the depender. Ball 1. At work, you respond fast. You solve problems. You cover shifts. You fix what other people ignore. You're the person everyone trusts because you make things smoother. In your relationships. You're thoughtful. You check in. You compromise. You forgive quickly. You try to be understanding. And at first, people love you for it. But then something changes. Your boss starts giving you tasks last minute, like your schedule is adjustable by default. A coworker begins forgetting deadlines and expects you to rescue them. A friend only reaches out when they need help. A partner cancels plans, then returns with warmth like nothing happened, and you feel relieved just to have them back. It's not one dramatic betrayal. It's a slow drip. A joke at your expense that goes a little too far. A plan that gets moved because you'll understand. A message you send that sits there unanswered for 12 hours. Then they reply with one word like your time isn't real. And you tell yourself the mature thing. It's fine. Because you don't want conflict. You don't want to be difficult. You don't want to be the person who overreacts. So you stay calm. But here's the problem. You're staying calm in a way that still gives them access, and people don't respect calm. They respect calm with limits. Now think of someone you've met who feels untouchable. They're not rude, they're not loud, they don't threaten anyone, but people don't interrupt them. People don't play games with their time. People don't casually test them, not because they have more status, because they have a different behavioral signature. Quiet power is a signature, a pattern, a signal. And today, you're going to install it. Human behavior follows patterns more than it follows intentions. Most people don't wake up thinking, let me disrespect someone today. But many people unconsciously test others to find out what they can get away with. They ask questions without speaking them. If I cancel, will you still be warm? If I ignore, will you chase? If I push your boundary, will you soften it to avoid tension? If I speak to you sharply, will you over-explain instead of correcting me? If I disappear, will you reward me when I return? Quiet power behaviors work because they change the answer to those questions. They remove the 3 signals boundary pushers look for. Signal number 1, immediate availability. If you respond instantly, always, your time becomes cheap. People stop treating your attention as valuable and start treating it as automat. I see. Signal number 2, emotional over-explanation. If you explain your standards like you're on trial, it signals uncertainty. And uncertainty invites negotiation. Signal number 3, inconsistent enforcement. If sometimes you enforce a boundary, and sometimes you tolerate the same behavior, you teach people to keep trying. Quiet power is the opposite. Quiet power is delayed, not reactive, clear, not wordy. Consistent, not. Emotional, calm, not performative. And it has nothing to do with being mean. It's about becoming difficult to misuse. Here's the simplest way to understand it. People don't respect the person who needs approval. People respect the person who can walk away calmly. Not dramatically, not as a threat, but as a reality. And this is why quiet power feels invisible. You don't argue, you don't chase, you don't plead. You just remove access. That's not manipulation. That's self-protection. Now before we install he behaviors, you need to see the patterns that reveal you're currently positioned as flexible. If you recognize multiple signs here, don't shame yourself. This isn't a personality flaw. THIS is a pattern you can rewrite. 1. People interrupt you without even noticing. You start talking, and they keep going, like your voice is optional. 2. Your time is treated like it's adjustable. Plans with you can move, delay, or cancel easily. Plans with them are fixed. 3. You respond fast out of anxiety, not choice. You feel pressure to reply quickly, so they don't lose interest or get you. PSET. 4. You explain your boundaries like a lawyer. You add reasons, context, apologies, and emotional cushioning just to say no. 5. You become the emotional trash bin. People vent to you intensely, then disappear when you need support. 6. Disrespect hides inside. Jokes. They call it humor, but you feel smaller after. 7. You smooth things over that weren't your fault. You apologize to restore peace, and when you didn't cause the problem. 8. People test your reaction. They say something sharp, then watch your face like they're measuring what you'll tolerate. 9. You're valued for availability more than presence. You're useful, not deeply respected. 10. You feel guilty when you protect your time. You associate boundaries with being a bad person. If you heard yourself in that list, good, because the fix is behavioral, not emotional. You don't need a new personality. You need a new pattern. If you want the short scripts and the calm behaviors that shut down disrespect with at conflict, comment quiet and subscribe. This channel is about self-protection, not control, recognizing manipulation patterns early, and keeping your peace without turning cruel. Now let's install quiet power. What you're about to hear is not a list of tricks. It's a foundation set. Evergreen behaviors you'll use for years. I'm going to give you the rule, the script, the behavior, and the reason it works. Then I'll show you how to apply the system in different environments: work, dating, friendships, and family. Behavior 1. Delayed response, not silent treatment. Rule: you respond when you're ready, not when you're summoned. Quiet power doesn't rush. Rushing signals dependency. It signals, your attention controls my nervous system. Script: I saw is, I'll get back to you. Behavior: pause before you respond, especially when you feel emotional urgency. Even 30 to 90 minutes is enough to reset the pattern. Why it works: people respect rhythm. If your rhythm is stable, they stop expecting instant access. If your rhythm is reactive, they learn they can pull you with a notification. This is not playing games. This is training your availability to match your life, not their impulses. Behavior 2. Fewer words, clear endings. Rule: say what's true, stop there. Over-explaining is a hidden form of asking permission. Script: that doesn't work for me, or I'm not available for that. Behavior: one sentence, then silence. Why it works: explanations create handles. Handles are what manipulative people grab. If you give them reasons, they negotiate. Tell your reasons. If you give them clarity, there's nothing to argue with. Quiet power is clarity without debate. Behavior 3. Availability windows. Rule: you're reachable, not on demand. ND. Unlimited access creates entitlement. Limited access creates respect. Script: I'm free Tuesday or Thursday, or I can do 15 minutes now, or longer tomorrow. Behavior: offer structured options, don't over-accommodate. Why it works: when you set windows, you communicate that your life is organized and valuable. People stop assuming they can insert themselves anywhere. Behavior 4: calm disengagement. T from testing. Rule: don't reward disrespect with emotion. If someone tests you and you react emotionally, anger, pleading, long explanations, you feed the game. Script: I'm going to step away from this conversation, or let's continue when it's respectful. Behavior: then actually step away. One time, calmly, no dramatic exits. Why it works: tests are often about control. Why? And you disengage calmly, the test doesn't pay off. They can't hook you. Behavior 5: standards without announcements. Rule: you don't warn repeatedly. Quiet power doesn't lecture people. NTO respecting you. It makes disrespect inconvenient. Script: I'm not continuing this, or I'm going to pass. Behavior: enforce quickly, without speeches. Why it works: if you keep warning, you teach them that boundaries are optional until you get angry. That invites them to keep pushing until they find the edge. The strongest boundary is the one you enforce early. Behavior 6: no emotional chasing. Are you interest flows both ways, or it doesn't flow. Chasing trains withdrawal. The more you chase, the more they learn they can reduce effort and still keep you. Script: let me know when you ready to follow through, or reach out when you've decided. Behavior: stop initiating after inconsistency. Not to punish, to stop rewarding. Why it works: people respect what they must maintain. If you maintain everything, they maintain nothing. Behavior 7: neutral tone, firm content. Rule: calm voice, solid boundary. Quiet power doesn't sound apologetic. It sounds normal. Script: no, I can't, or I'm not doing that. Behavior: say it with the same tone you'd use to say, it's raining. Why it works: when you use a neutral tone, you remove emotional leverage. They can't accuse you of being dramatic, aggressive, or unstable. Behavior 8: exit first, politely. Rule: leave early instead of waiting to be pushed. Quiet power isn't winning arguments, it's refusing roles that make you smaller. Script: I'm going to head out, take care, or I'll catch you another time. Behavior: exit when the energy turns disrespectful or chaotic. Why it works: the person who can leave calmly controls their exposure. That's real power. Behavior 9: predictable consequences. Rule: same behavior from them gives same response from you. Script: I said, I'm stepping back, or this is what I'm doing moving forward. Behavior: don't create new explanations every time. Repeat the boundary like a broken record, calmly. Why it works: inconsistency makes you negotiable. Consistency makes you unmovable. Behavior 10: let silence work. Rule: don't fill gaps others create. Script: none. Behavior: when someone leaves a question unanswered, do chase. When someone's response is vague, don't write paragraphs to clarify. Let their behavior speak. Why it works: silence reveals, chasing hides. Behavior 11: make requests small and testable. Quiet power is not assuming, it's testing reality calmly. Rule: if someone wants access, they can meet a small standard consistently. Script: let's pick a day this week and stick to it, or send it by Friday. If not, we'll move on. Behavior: ask for a simple action that shows follow through. Why it works: manipulators talk, stable people follow through. Small tests separate the two without drama. Behavior 12: replace fair with aligned. A lot of people stay in bad dynamics because they want things to be fair. Quiet power doesn't T. Chase fairness. It chases alignment. Rule. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't continue. Script. I don't think this is a match, or I'm going in a different direction. Behavior. You end misaligned dynamics early, without revenge. Why it works. You stop negotiating your standards with people who don't share them. Now let's take those behaviors and apply them to common environments. This is W. Here it becomes long-term, because you can build entire series from these scenarios. 1. Workplace quiet power. Scenario A. Last-minute tasks dumped on you. You get a message at 4:45 p.m. Need this. ASAP. Old pattern. You rush. Prove yourself. Resent it later. Quiet power pattern. You respond with structure. Script. I can start this tomorrow morning. What's the priority order? If they push, it has to be tonight. Script. I can't do tonight. I can do first thing tomorrow. Notice. No apology speech. No emotional justification. Just capacity. What happened? Long term. They learn you are reliable, but not usable. That's respect. Scenario B. Someone interrupts you in meetings. Old pattern. You shrink, then complain later. Quiet power pattern. You correct. In the moment, calmly. Script. Let me finish this point, then continue. If it happens again, script. I'll finish. Then I want to hear your thoughts. No anger. No sarcasm. Rue. Firm structure. Scenario C. A co-worker offloads their work onto you. Script. I can't take that on. I can show you how I'd approach it, though. This keeps you cooperative without becoming a dumping ground. Quiet power rule at work. Competence earns respect only when it comes with boundaries. To dating and relationships. Quiet power. Scenario A. Hot and cold communication. They disappear, then return with warmth like nothing happened. Old pattern. Relief. Chasing. Are we okay? Quiet power pattern. You name the standard. Script. When communication drops and returns like normal, it doesn't work for me. I'm open to continuing if it stays consistent. Then you stop talking. If they argue, you're overthinking. Script. I'm not debating it. This is my standard. If it continues. Script. I'm stepping back, and you do. Scenario B. Plans get cancelled repeatedly. Script. No worries. Let's reschedule when your schedule is stable. Translation. You're not a ball. Cut plan. Scenario C. They push boundaries with jokes. Script. I don't find that funny. Then silence. Quiet power doesn't laugh to keep peace. It tells the truth calmly. Quiet power rule. In relationships, consistency is the price of closeness. 3 friendships. Quiet power. Scenario A. A friend only calls when they need something. Quiet power is not a speech about how you feel. It's at and control. Script. I can't help with that today. Then watch what they do next. If they disappear again, you don't chase. Scenario B. A friend disrespects you publicly. Script. Don't talk about me like that. Calm. Direct. Then move on. If they respond, I was just joking. Script. I'm not joking. That's it. Quiet power rule in friendships. AC. Cess without respect becomes entitlement. 4. Family quiet power. Family dynamics are harder because guilt is baked in. Quiet power is essential here. Scenario A. A family member demands your time. Script. I can't. Lines call you Sunday. If they guilt trip, so you don't care. Script. I'm not discussing my care. Sunday. Repeat. Scenario B. Someone tries to start drama. Script. I am not getting into this. Then you leave the room, change the subject, or end the call. Quiet power rule with family. You can love people without letting them access you through guilt. This is the part most people miss. They try boundaries, then wonder why nothing changes. Mistake 1. You announce boundaries like a policy memo. If you give a long speech about how you deserve respect, you invite argument. Quiet power do. S. Not explain your worth. Quiet power enforces your standard. One sentence, one consequence. Mistake 2. You enforce only when you're emotionally flooded. If you tolerate disrespect 5 times, then explode on the 6th. People learn that your boundary is emotional, not real. Quiet power is early enforcement. Small correction early prevents big drama later. Even with perfect scripts, your body might panic. Because if you're used to being liked, boundaries feel like danger. So you need a calm internal protocol. 1. Delay when emotional. If you feel urgency, pause. Don't respond from the craving to fix. 2. Track behavior, not potential. Write down patterns. People change your memory with one good moment. 3. Choose dignity over relief. Relief is addictive. Dignity is stable. 4. Replace chasing with grounding. When you want to chase, do one grounding task. Walk, shower, clean one surface, breathe, lift weights. Anything that tells your body, I can regulate without access. Quiet power becomes permanent when your nervous system stops begging for reassurance. Quiet power isn't about being feared. It's about being difficult to misuse. You don't raise your voice. You don't perform confidence. You don't argue your standards like you're asking permission. You become consistent, contained, and unavailable for disrespect. And people adjust, or they disappear. Both outcomes. Protect your life. Comment quiet if you want the next video in this series. Stop explaining yourself. The quiet power shift. Subscribe, because once you remove explanation, you remove negotiate. Ion. And that's when respect becomes automatic.